All right, we're live, guys. Welcome to the show. This is Ian Belina, and we have the pleasure of being joined by Joel Comm and Travis Wright from the Bad Crypto Podcast, the best crypto podcast out there in the whole universe.
Oh,
as
man.
you can see, oh my God, look at the screen.
Travis is coming to you.
Have over here.
Travis is coming to you from Kansas City. I am coming to you from deep space.
Deep space, oh man.
The voice of God. From
Yes,
the voice of God.
And I have an order for all of you down there. Stop it. All y'all down there, stop it.
Now, are you bringing us any coins while you're in space?
Space coin.
Space coin,
yeah.
Or bad coin. All right, guys. Well, this is going out to both YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook. Also gets turned into our own podcast as well. But I don't have the podcast voice like these guys over here. Right? These guys have that voice.
You're all over the place, man. Periscope, all the places.
Oh, we have to be, right? Social media, right?
That's true. Stream it up, stream it out.
Yeah. And I hear you guys have some books on social media as well. You guys are the experts at that.
Well, some of us have books, some of us have book.
That is true. Together, Joel Comm and I have 16 books that we've written.
Yeah.
But he's written 15.
Nice.
But it's way better when we combine them. At least it sounds better for my ego.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure having you on. Shout out to Antonio on YouTube. What's up? Shout out to Elocho.
Antonio, what is up? Yeah.
Shout out to Vincent, Nate. Guys that are very early on the stream. Thank you guys for all the support.
Nate
If
Dogg.
you guys, Nate Dogg. If you guys like the show or the stream, thumbs up, retweet, share everywhere with Crypto Family in the house. It's a bull market now, right? We all came out of crypto winter. We survived, and we're here.
We're going 1,000x today, Ian.
1,000x. Oh man, I would love that.
10,000x.
Put some 1,000x in my life. All right, guys. Well, tell us about yourselves. Who's the Bad Crypto Podcast? Who's Joe? Who's Travis?
Yeah, who are we anyway, Travis? I am Joel. Like a lot of people, it's funny because they hear us on the podcast, but then they see our faces and they're like, "Oh, I thought that the voice was the other one with the beard." And I thought the guy who has to wear the glasses was the funny one. No, he's the funny one. I'm the one with the voice. And I've been doing business online for almost a quarter century now. And in that time have bought and sold sites and created apps and done podcasting and video and speaking and books and things and stuff. And now I'm happy to be co-hosting Bad Crypto with Mr. Travis Wright.
Yeah. Really what it all boils down to, Ian, is we're just two dudes talking crypto.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. And we enjoy that. Actually, as he mentioned, with a lot of stuff that we've done, I've been in the internet space for over 20 years now, which is crazy to think about. 2009, almost 25 years in the internet world. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been interesting watching, the different sort of trends and new technologies appear. Like, I was playing around with SEO before SEO was even a thing, before Google was around, and then paid search and mobile advertising and social media and all that stuff that's going on, influencer marketing, all this crazy stuff. And blockchain really hit me. And when Joel and I were having conversations about it, it's like, I wrote a book called Digital Sense, which was all about sort of, marketing technologies, customer experience, and social business strategy, but then also those emerging technologies. And looking at that technology, all these different emerging technologies, blockchain was the one that made me go, whoa, look at this. Here they are disrupting the financial space. Soon they're going to be disrupting the advertising space and all these other spaces that need to have transparency. And Mr. Joel Comm and I, back in 2017, joined up and started doing Bad Crypto.
Nice. I think I told you guys this as well, right? I think, not to date you guys, but back when I was in college, I read one of your books or blogs because I definitely did know the name Joel Comm and I think Travis Wright. So, I mean, you guys definitely are OGs in the online publishing media space.
Yeah,
Joel Comm's super OG. He's like OGist.
Well, I don't mind you, dating Travis, but you can't date me. I have a girlfriend. Somebody else.
Can't swing like that.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess, so we'll take questions both from YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. Just ask them, and I'll ask them with our hosts over here and guests, right? So first thing first, what is the Bad Crypto Podcast, and what are you guys working on nowadays?
Well, the show is basically an entry point for crypto newbies and for those who are more serious about cryptocurrency. Rather than being highly technical, we really are just two dudes talking crypto. We're fascinated with the space, and so we like to discuss what's happening in the crypto world. We like to share the news and offer our own perspective or insights or lack of them. And we love to interview fascinating people. We've even had you on a couple times, so there you go. That makes you fascinating. And that's in all done with tongue in cheek and a sense of humor, because that's how do you get through this crazy world without being able to laugh at all the craziness that goes on. But we believe in blockchain and we believe in cryptocurrency, and we think that it's got a really bright future.
Yeah. And we put out a lot of episodes. I mean, I think since we started in July 2017, overall, we've made over 350 episodes, right? So not only have we interviewed, some of the top minds in the space and the fascinating people who are creating great stuff, but we've interviewed like over 200 different projects that were doing ICOs or doing fundraisers, building things on the blockchain. So it's been the fascinating for us is like, what can be done on the blockchain? Who are the ones who are doing it? Who are the ones that are moving the world forward in a positive way? And we like to have great conversations with them. So we have a lot of fun in the process, but we have a lot of, it's serious too, because we're asking and we're talking to some really amazing people. So, we have a fun time, but we sort of to drill down and ask some pretty tough questions sometimes.
Nice. So what's the toughest question or toughest guest you've had on your show?
Toughest?
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe, let's not say craziest. Let's say toughest.
I would say it was interesting interviewing Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff, the gold bug guy, because he hates crypto. He thinks crypto sucks. And so it was interesting, it's like, I think in today's day and age, more and more people want to only talk to people who think like them, it seems. If somebody has a different point of view, people kind of screech and freak out. Oh my God, you think different than me. So I was like, we don't mind. We like to talk to people with different points of view, and we'll debate with them and chat. So Peter Schiff, he doesn't like crypto at all, thinks crypto is a joke, it's a fad, and it's a scam and all that. So that was interesting having a conversation with him. And that was kind of really early on too. That was in like August of 2017 or something like that when we chatted with him.
Yeah, you were initially going to go to the craziest, and of course McAfee wins that award no matter what, right? For every podcast, if he's been on the show, he automatically comes in the top slot for craziest interview. But yeah, there's been a lot of fascinating guests and content and perspectives. Everything from Bitcoin maximalists like our friend Tone Vase, to the shitcoin maximalists and everything in between.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the space has so many characters, good and bad, right? But I think overall, though, I mean, with any space as it matures, right, you kind of have people start to evolve, right? So somebody could be a Bitcoin maximalist and turn into a shitcoin maximalist, and vice versa.
Right. Who were we talking to about this just yesterday, Travis? Somebody was saying, which ones are the shit coins? And my perspective, some would say if it's not Bitcoin, it's a shit coin. But I tend to look at it like, most of these coins that have an intent, that have a purpose, that don't exist just for the sake of existing, but actually trying to fill some need, that doesn't make them a shit coin. I think the shit coins are the ones that are just money grabs just for the sake of, money grabs. And there's no need for those. But I guess I'm a lot more liberal in terms of allowing projects to happen in the space and not assuming that they're bad for the space.
Well, you're a liberal?
Only in this sense.
Oh, only in that sense. Yeah, I think that is the case. I mean, the thing about it is that, people will say, oh my God, look at all these ICO scams. 90% of them are going to fail. They're scamming you out of money. But you think about it, just historically and statistically, 9 out of 10 startups fail. If they're VC funded, if they're crowd funded, if their grandma and grandpa are family funded, I mean, 9 out of 10 fail. That's historically the number of how often these businesses fail. crypto startups are no different. It's about execution. You might have a great idea. You may have the best URL and the best coin name, and you might have a great blockchain. But guess what? If you don't have marketing figured out, then people aren't going to hear about it or find out about it. And maybe you got great marketing, but you have a shit blockchain, and that's not going to work because then you're just building up hype over something. So you really have to make sure that you have all the components down. You get, especially in today's world, you got to have your legal down. You got to make sure if you are a utility coin, then you got to make sure the attorney says you're one, because if not, then the SEC is going to come knocking on your door, right? Or so a lot of them are just moving out of America, right? So it's like, but the thing is that we've interviewed so many there's so many different ways that blockchain can be sliced and diced and used in new and innovative ways. And as I said, we've chatted with over 200 of them. Not all of them are winners, and in fact, I would say probably 25% of them have been pretty solid, but that's better than the whole average of startups in general. So yeah, it's interesting to talk to the folks who have good vision, and it's just, you never know if they're going to be able to execute or not.
Well, and I think that there's a bunch of them that had a good project and idea, but the crypto winter and the crash took them, by surprise. Nobody thought it was going to fall that far exactly. And so their funds ran out and they couldn't, which is one of the things that happens to startups. Sometimes you run out of money, but they had enough and they couldn't sell it, because then they would be, selling off into the high at the behest of those who invested in them. And that's not good either.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys are kind of telling us all these different ideas on different projects and how they could do better, right? I hear you guys have your own cryptocurrency as well, right? So are you guys kind of going to apply all these different concepts or, I guess, ideas towards your own coin? Is that why you made BADCoin? And what is BADCoin for those who haven't heard of it?
Trav, why don't you do it?
Well, I tell you this. So when we started Bad Crypto back in July of 2017, Joel, about 1 month into it, had got on BitShares. We were having a conversation with this dude, Michael Taggart, and he goes, you can actually launch your own coin on BitShares. And so we said, how do you do that? So there's a video of us on YouTube walking through and getting the original BADCoin set up. And the original intent of BADCoin was just for fun. Like, let's give it away. Hey, you give us a review on iTunes, we'll send you some BADCoin. You call in, we'll give you some BADCoin, whatever. So it was just a fun giveaway. But about a year ago, Joel and I were having a conversation about how, mining has become so centralized in crypto. Like, there's this huge arms race out there where all these folks are, you got to get all these ASIC computers, and you got to get a room full of, now you got to get a warehouse full of ASIC miners to be able to effectively mine Bitcoin on the pool. And there's basically 4 pools now that control most of Bitcoin's mining, right? That sucks. And so I said, how cool would it be if we could actually mine on bad computers? Let's flip that arms race on its head and flip the funnel. And let's say whoever has the worst computers can mine the most. That was the original idea. And so we worked with Marshall Long, who was one of the first OG mining, large scale mining operators. He has a badass team of blockchain developers, and they spent over 1,000 hours working on this idea because it really hit a chord with them. They said, man, if we could create a coin that anybody can mine on any computer fairly, how would we do it? Mm-hmm. And so how it got set up is it's a multi-chain of 5 algorithms. And so say you have a room full of Bitcoin miners, you're going to connect to the SHA-256 algorithm. And what's going to happen on that is you're going to be mining with your, whatever 5 terahash or 500 terahash and half a petahash or whatever, right? And the difficulty is going to be way high, and the reward's going to be lower on that algorithm. Now, on the YesScript algorithm, that is for Macs and PCs and Raspberry Pis and Pentiums and etc. And so you can actually connect to that algorithm, and everybody's in the pool. And there might be, I think at any given time, there might be like 1 mega hash worth of hash power on that algorithm. But each one of those 5 algorithms are competing to mine each block that happens each minute. And they're all going through trying to mine it based on the difficulties of the amount of hash power. We've got it set up in the most fair way possible that those who have the worst computers are the ones who mine more frequently and gain more of the rewards. So over time, the goal is get a lot of people mining BADCoin all over the world, and they're mining it in a way that's fair for everyone. So if you have a room full of ASIC computers, or you got, a Pentium 1, you're still able to effectively mine BADCoin.
It's all about the Pentiums, yo. Yeah, and really, it's just been about a month since the chain was released and mining was available, and we've had up to 500 concurrent miners already, because you've got people opening up their laptops. I mean, I've got a 5-year-old MacBook in the other room, and I was able to install the wallet easily and then start mining on it. And I'm pulling down BADCoin. People who have never been able to mine. I mean, I tried to mine Ethereum on the computer I'm on. I've got a high-end PC because I'm a gamer, so I need all of the RAM, all the video card, and it was making my computer go, I don't want to mine. It was horrible. So I can't mine on that, but I can open up any of my PCs or Macs and I can mine BADCoin. So all of a sudden we have a crypto that is mineable by just about anybody, and I think that's the
that's big, that's huge.
Of crypto is like, this is for the people. And so now, no matter where you are, as long as you've got a computer that you can install a miner on and you have an internet connection, then you could be mining BAD.
Mm-hmm. We got miners all over the world now. It's so crazy. Like, we got our first miner, I think it was in Zaire or Zimbabwe recently, was messaging us on our Discord saying, hey, I'm mining BADCoin. And I'm like, yes, that's what we want. We want, like, in all these different developing countries, we've got the white paper being translated into Chinese right now, Arabic. It's already been translated into Spanish. We have a couple other languages, Russian and French. It's being translated into. So the goal is to give this out to the world. It's open source. Let's teach people how to mine, because once you understand mining and how blockchain works, then this whole crypto thing goes, aha, I totally get it now. But people aren't just going to go jump in and go buy an ASIC computer and start mining Bitcoin as an entry point. So there is no entry point right now for people to get started. BADCoin is that entry point for people to start figuring out mining.
Well, like Travis said, this is open source. We don't own. There is no BADCoin Inc. Yes, the Bad Crypto podcast came up with the idea, but and yes, there are pre-mines for everybody who held the old BADCoin on BitShares. But there's 15 billion of the 21 billion supply that are available for mining and will be for the next 100 years, I suppose. And the code is open source. There was no ICO for it. There's no fundraise. This is just saying, all right, here's how to mine BADCoin. Go get it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So what is the utility of BADCoin? Is it something similar to Dogecoin in terms of like tipping and just kind of there's whatever you make of it?
It's whatever you make of it. In fact, we had the last few weeks, one person in our Discord set up an auction. He had this little toy. It was like a cowboy. What was he, a pickle, Travis? I think it was a pickle.
It was a cactus pickle.
A cactus with a cowboy hat on. He thought, just like Laszlo, made the first purchase with Bitcoin for 2 pizzas, 10,000 Bitcoin. Let's see who's the first person to give proof of BAD that somebody will buy. And he auctioned off this little toy, this little vinyl toy, and the winner got it for about 60,000 BAD. And so we have on record the first transaction of somebody purchasing something with BADCoin. So it's whatever people want to make of it. And if we've got, there's tens or hundreds of thousands of people all over the world that are mining it, well, they can use it however they want.
All right. So let's take a question from the audience here. We have somebody on YouTube is asking, what's the difference between BADCoin and other mining coins? I think you kind of answered that, right?
We're bad.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is that we disincentivize large-scale miners from mining. They can mine, but they're going to be put like the other day or actually a couple weeks ago, there was somebody who tried to mine on the Gretzel algorithm, I believe, and they put a petahash in there, and they were really trying to steal the chain. But the way that we have it set up was that there's a couple private pools where there's some pretty good hash going in, and it was right in the early time when we were getting this thing going on out there, and so they were trying to sort of take it over. But that's the thing, is that the more hash power that you put towards it, the higher your difficulty and the lower your reward. So that's where it's different, is that anyone can mine, but the more powerful your computers are, the more difficult it is to mine those blocks and the less of a reward you get over time. And so it slowly will disincentivize those large scale miners. Our goal is to have anybody with a laptop or a Mac or a PC or a Raspberry Pi or a Pentium or an AMD computer to be able to mine, period.
Yeah. Quit trying so hard to mine out there, guys. Just, just fire it up and
just mine
and just mine. So I could tell you this with my my MacBook. I said it's about 5 years old, and I connect to the chain with YesScript. I'm pulling down about 500 to 600 BAD in 24 hours. So that kind of gives you an idea of what that looks like.
All right, now what's your take on staking, proof of stake? Right, Ethereum is mining, but now they're going to shift eventually towards proof of stake. It seems to be the hot new thing.
Yeah.
Right? What's your take on that versus mining?
It's staking and masternodes. It's cool. I mean, one of our people who come on Bad Crypto regularly and that has sponsored the show is Divi. And Divi has been pretty cool because they have that it's easy. It's just a click. It's a one-click masternode creation type of a thing. And it's pretty handy. I know Joel's got 2 of them going right now. He's got 2 masternodes, like the gold masternode and the silver masternode or whatever. And he's pulling in about, 3,000 Divi a day or something?
Yeah. In fact, I'm just launching it right now because when you said it, I'm like, I wonder how my masternodes are doing. And what's cool about it is you click to start them and then you shut it down. And you don't have to keep it running on your desktop. So
it's a cloud masternode.
Yeah, it's remotely doing the noding of the masters. Remotely. With BADCoin, you have to have your miner up and running.
Yeah. We thought about doing masternodes, but at first we said, you know what? Masternodes is a cool thing, but we could hard fork it later and add those functionalities. Right now, we want people to mine because when you mine, it's an educational process. You start learning about how blockchain actually works. And so that's kind of one of the things that we wanted to do is it's an educational thing. First and foremost, we're not really concerned about the price of it. We're concerned about the functionality of it and the use of it, worldwide. We want more and more people to understand how blockchain works. This is a mass adoption tool. Now, it might take on a world of its own and become valuable on its own. And you know what? God bless it. But the thing is that we want more and more people to understand blockchain because blockchain tsunami is coming, right, across all these businesses. It's a huge revolution. And if you don't understand it, you need to understand it because the sooner you understand it and the sooner that you start investing in some of these long-term cryptos, the better you're going to be down the road, I think. I'm not financial advice. I'm not saying you're going to go 100x, but I'm saying there's only 21 million Bitcoin out there. And if everybody in the world had an equal amount, we would all have 0.0025 Bitcoin. So get more than that.
Right.
Get more Bitcoin.
Here's the thing, because it's open source, anybody can go to the GitHub and they can fork it and create whatever utility or additional features they want with it. That's why it's there. The GitHub, the wallet, all the instructions for mining, everything is on the website at badcoin.net. We've already had one follower message us that they set up a bad faucet at badfaucet.com. And you put in your BAD wallet address, and every 12 hours you can pull down randomly between, I think, 1 and 5 BAD. We've got another guy messaged us, and we need for the dev team to check it out before we make it public, but he's created a paper wallet generator for BADCoin, and others have indicated they're interested in putting it on exchanges or including it in their wallet. In fact, I won't say who it is yet, but a service that does implementation so that merchants can accept payments in crypto contacted us just yesterday and said they want to make it so that people can accept BAD as a currency through their business. So this is a community effort. People are going to look at this and they're going to either want to mine it or they're going to say, oh, we want to change it up and do function X with it. And whatever, it's, we can't stop that. It doesn't belong to us.
Yeah, it could literally be used as a universal basic income token in, developing countries, right? Because if they have regular computational power, PC or Mac or whatever, they can mine. And they weren't able to do that before. That's like not something that has ever been able to do. Now, Ravencoin does some pretty cool stuff, but there's still some ASIC issues that it has. But Ravencoin, I think, is the closest to what we're doing, except we kind of take it a step farther with allowing basically, anybody to mine. We're just throttling the algorithms based on that. But your original question was about masternodes and staking. I think staking, it has a definite place in the space. The more you have, the more you're earning. And so it's kind of like mining. It's much less, doesn't use as much computational power. That's just not something that we wanted to build into our first version of BAD. Maybe later on we'll do some BAD nodes. But
all right. Let's take some more questions.
I like a nice fillet in front of me. That's my favorite kind of steak.
Proof of steak is getting popular here.
In my belly.
Proof of shrimp. If I could do some
proof
of
of shrimp. All right, so let's take some more questions from the audience here. So Chioso Christian asks, do you invest any of your income towards marketing? If so, what percentage? The idea is great, but needs more promotion.
Well, here's the deal with BADCoin. Because it is decentralized and there isn't a company that owns it, it's not a security. We're not actively, going out there and going to be spending money on promotion. It's for the community to do. We don't want it to become a security. Now, there are some people who have approached us about creating a BADCoin foundation or some sort of organization that would then become a promotional group. But really, it's up to the community because the community owns this.
It's a fine line you walk when you're creating a cryptocurrency. So, like, we created a crypto with no ICO, like Joel said, no fundraising, and actually the development was built on developed and donated time. So the thing is that if we actively start paying for advertising and telling people to start mining BADCoin, that gets into a slippery slope with some of the regulations in America. So you got to say, you can't be an active participant, but you know what? The community, if it likes it, it's going to do some things on its own and help it grow. And that's what Joel's mentioning is that, we have people out there with a lot of ideas on things that we could do, but that foundation, I think, is a key part. Once that foundation is created, then some of those marketing efforts can arrive out of the foundation. Not so from us, since we created it. And that it's like this. Does Satoshi Nakamoto go out and market Bitcoin? No.
I just saw him down the street. He was carrying a big Bitcoin sign. He was dressed as a Bitcoin, one of those outfits.
Oh, yeah. So it's kind of one of those things. It's one of those things. If Bitcoin does it, then you could probably do it. If Bitcoin doesn't do it,
then you can't do it.
Shouldn't do it.
Yeah. Alexander made a comment on YouTube. It's been very informative and learned a lot. He started mining BADCoin 4 weeks ago, and he has about 26,000 BADCoin now, mining as we speak on his old Dell laptop. And he wants to be the first to buy a pizza with BADCoin. So what are you waiting for?
Yeah. Go do it, Alex. Okay, so let's take a question from Miss Archie. Is there any phone capability for mining BADCoin? Can BADCoin be mined on phones? Is that something?
I think there's an Android app that's being developed, but iOS you can't, just because of the closed nature of Apple. However, mining it on your phone, you can do it, but you better have your phone plugged in, and your phone's going to get hot. That's just the nature of how mining would work. So even though it can be done, probably best to do it on an actual computer and not a phone, unless you don't care about the phone, because it'll probably kill your phone.
Yeah, we would love for it to be mineable on bad phones, right? You got an old iPhone 1 sitting around, it'd be great, but here's the problem: Apple won't allow mining apps into the App Store, and I don't think Google necessarily does either. So we might have to wait. Like you've got Electronium, right? There's an Electronium app, and you can mine Electronium, but it's cloud mining. So you have to go into the app and you have to connect it and then say start mining, and it does for a period of 7 days. It'll cloud mine, but it's not actually being mined.
Simulated mining.
Right.
We could potentially do some of that. Like somebody in our community might build a cloud mining simulation, which could be done. You can go to the GitHub and look at the code and build it out if you know how to do that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But just, at this point, it's just not possible because Apple doesn't like it, and Android, it's just your phone would be so hot it'll burn up your phone of mining.
There's a BADCoin, by the way. That is the symbol
BADCoin
for bad. That's a sticker, but that's what a BADCoin looks like right there.
It's actually, that sticker's worth more than an actual BADCoin.
It is
by about 100x probably.
Well, BADCoin actually is trading on one exchange already. It's a new exchange called BOA Exchange. BOA exchange.com, and let's see what it's trading for there. Looks like 1 Satoshi.
Wow.
Oh, it went down. It was at 2 or 3 satoshis.
Sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's people that are, messing around with it and they're experimenting and, look, we don't know if it's ever going to be worth anything. There's no promises of value. It's up to the community to determine if there's value. All we're saying is, hey, you can finally mine a coin from whatever device you have. So why not try it and see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so my
10x, 100x of BADCoin, it goes up to 100 satoshis.
I mean, so my philosophy in crypto has always been like this: if Dogecoin can do it, why can't any token do it? Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, because people thought Dogecoin was a joke, but last time I checked, it's trading on lots of exchanges and it has a big community.
Yeah, like that's one of the things that we want to like something to be created eventually as well is a bad tipper bot, right?
Well, no, that exists on Telegram already, Travis.
Somebody created the bad tipper.
Yeah, there is a bad tip bot already on Telegram, and I'm not sure if it's been publicly released or not, but I thought you saw that.
No, I saw that people were talking about it, but like, how cool! Like, I want to bad tip somebody on Twitter. I want to bad tip somebody on Reddit, right?
I have lots of people on Twitter I could bad tip.
A bad tip. I'm like, I'll give you a tip if they're bad. That's good. And because it's like, it's not bad, it's good. It's that, it's a badass, right? So it's funny that, because not only this is that, so we have, our address is a bad dress, right? That's where you send your cryptos to the bad dress. We have bad visors. We have badvocates. We have people who like bad crypto. They're bad asseters. Right. So it's like there's so many different bad tipper bot, all this different stuff. Or we're going to get a bad mobile wallet eventually for the mobile.
You know what it is? The feedback we're getting from people is that they're having fun. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm mining crypto for the first time. I couldn't mine Bitcoin with my laptop. So I'm actually mining crypto, and it's magical internet money, right? There's this something about seeing it hit your wallet that's like, oh, I've got this worthless currency, but I mined it. It's mine.
It's my mine.
Mine.
Yeah.
Mine.
That is true.
And we have a great community already. The team has started both a Telegram and a Discord. So we own the website BADCo.in, which if you're astute, you'll figure out that spells BADCoin. And that's what we use for our redirects for episodes. So if you wanted to, for example, listen to episode number 270, you'd go to BADCo.in/270. But we also have links to useful utilities, such as our Discord and our Telegram. So if you go to badco.in/Discord, that's where you're going to find the community supporting BADCoin. So there's a
great community there. Super smart people who are like mega miners that are going in and teaching everybody. If you have any questions, like, hey, I can't quite figure this out. And they go, oh, blah, 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 blah. Super helpful people. It's amazing.
All right. So Chiosa Christian says, you just convinced me to mine BADCoin. It says
Nice.
It's a great idea. Very popular. He thinks it's going to be like Dogecoin, but backed with a better technology, better chain.
Yeah, man, check out the chain. I mean, Marshall Long built it. It's a 5 algorithm multi-chain. And as the coin, Marshall said, as the coin gets some more liquidity and he can actually spend some time to build onto it, then he says he wants to add a couple of more algorithms to it, and then maybe add some cloud mining capabilities for mobile.
Yeah, here's the actual, this is the website. I don't know if you could show this or not, Ian, but this is badcoin.net right here. And you can see all the links that you need. There's a swap here. And that is if you have BADCoin on the old BitShares exchange, you'll want to swap those out. By the way, you might have them and not know that you have them, because a long time ago in a crypto galaxy, about a year and a half ago away, we had a guy write some code that scraped every BitShares address. And if you had 1 BTS or more in your wallet, you were airdropped 10,000 BADCoin. And so you might, if you have a BitShares address, you might want to go check and see if you've got 10,000 BAD in there. And if you do, you'll want to swap them out to this new chain, because eventually all of those old tokens will go away. And when you swap them, they'll be swapped at a 1-to-0.4 ratio. So your 10,000 old worthless BAD will become 4,000 new worthless BAD.
So go check it, bitch shares.
Yeah. So you can download your wallet here and you can learn all about the different scripts and how to mine. There's all kinds of documentation that tell you more about it. And it's just plain fun.
All right. Now, what made you guys leverage BitShares as opposed to other blockchains or exchanges?
We were brand new. And
Yeah.
then somebody said, you can do it on this. And we said, cool. We started the show in July of 2017, and then we gave out the original BADCoin in August. I think we started doing it like less than 5 weeks into our show. We're like, oh, cool. And the whole original point of it, Ian, was like, hey, you know what? When you're first starting out in crypto, you get that cringe feeling like, oh my God, did I do it right? Am I sending this to the right place? And so it was basically just to practice. Like the community could send BADCoin to one another for nothing really, and have fun playing with it instead of sending Bitcoin back and forth and having that feeling of like, oh God, is it going to get there? Checking the block explorer. Oh God, is it coming? Where is it? How come it's not arrived yet? Oh my God. Because that's the most stressful thing when you're first starting crypto is my coin going to get there? Did it work? Did I do it right? So it was sort of an educational thing then, just to play around with crypto. But then as we got more experience and started understanding it and then really kind of seeing how Bitcoin is more centralized now than ever before, we said we need to bring decentralization back into mining and allow anyone to mine. So that's kind of how we evolved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea sounds great, right? Like teaching people how to mine, because even myself, right? I haven't really been a person who mined. I just been an investor. But recently I began staking coins, right? And it's been incredible. The experience is incredible, right? So now I'm looking to stake even more coins down the line.
Yeah. I'd like to have a BADCoin wallet that allowed for staking. I think that would be really cool. Like, it's like a mobile wallet. That is where I think mobile could really come into play, is having a feature in there where you have X amount of BAD and that stakes it. And now you earn more BAD from that. So I think maybe in a future iteration of the blockchain that we could maybe bring in some of that. But I mean, we got kind of a long tail roadmap on this. It's going to take, a couple months to get a foundation set up, however that's going to work. And then, so it's kind of a long-term play here. The people who are mining now are going to end up mining more BADCoin than the folks down the road, just because they're going to be a whole lot more people mining it. And so your rewards are going to be a lot less later on. So the earlier you start mining, the better. Plus, I mean, with it being the price of one Satoshi right now,
you can't lose, right? Unless all of crypto goes to zero, you can't lose. Right?
Well, who knows? It's we don't even tell anybody to buy any bad and count the cost of your electricity, right? Mining does cost electricity. Now it's not like running a big, a GPU ASIC miner, but whatever, you fire up your laptop and you're going to start spinning the fan. Now, some people have had issues with, their devices heating up. My MacBook, like I said, it's 5 years old. It's a MacBook Pro, and my fan is spinning pretty hard, but I feel the bottom of it, and maybe the ventilation is really good because I'm not feeling any additional heat coming from it. The laptop's just working, so your mileage may vary.
All right. So yeah, definitely not financial advice, right? Even if it's one Satoshi.
Not even
definitely not. Yeah, the thing is that it's just a fun mineable coin. It could have some value down the road. Who knows?
The market will decide what they want to do with it. And what we've seen so far is that people are excited about it. And that excites us. If it ends up being something that makes people money, great. But I'm more thrilled when I see somebody doing an auction and transacting.
Yeah, right? It was really cool.
Watch your stupid, toy, cactus toy. Somebody bought it for 60,000 BADCoin. And it just makes me think, if BADCoin was ever really a big thing one day, that guy would have the story. Right, he was the first one.
Maybe there should be an auction site, eBAD. People can
eBAD.
I mean, you guys can come up with so many different names, right? That name right there is just genius marketing.
eBAD.
All right, so let's kind of shift over back to the crypto market, right? So Bitcoin is over 8,000, even touched 9,000 briefly before coming back down. Now the whole market is red, but things are looking good, guys. What's your take on the whole crypto market right now?
I'm a fan. I mean, we kind of knew that the thaw was coming, and we've spoken for months about May 2020 being the next halvening, right, of Bitcoin. And if we look at the last 3 times this has happened, a year before that halving is when we've seen the beginning of the bull run. Well, here we are. early May, things started really looking up. And so I'm not surprised. Part of me is like, wow, it's happening. But I think I'm personally pretty bullish. I feel like we've seen the lows. I actually sold some crypto at the low, literally at the low. So do not, follow.
You bought high, sold low?
No, I did. I sold some when it was higher. I sold some when it was lower. And a lot of my portfolio is just being hodled because I believe in the future that many of the coins are going to be worth a whole lot more than they are now.
What's happening, hot stuff? so we actually did a poll yesterday. So because this is actually right after it hit 9,000, we put a poll out and we said, is the bull run still on? Will Bitcoin soon pop over 10,000, or will Bitcoin plop down to 6,000? And so far, of the nearly 200 votes, we've got 64% think that we're going to pop over 10,000 soon. 36 think we're going to hit that 6,000 again and plop back down. Who knows? Crypto goes up, crypto goes down. This is that same feeling that we had in November 2017, September. It kept going like boop, 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 boop. It just can't just keep going up. It's got to come back down a little bit, reset, and then go back up. And so when we have these days where it's like, oh, it just went up $800 today. Wow, okay. And then it sits here for a little bit, and then boom, it went up another $800, $700 that day. That's crazy to me to see how those numbers pop. Now imagine this, Ian. When it gets over 20, 30,000, you start seeing $2,000 and $3,000 and $5,000 pops a day, right?
That 20,000, a brand new all-time high is going to be crazy. It's going to be December 2017 all over again.
Yeah,
it's going to go boom, 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 boom. You're going to see 30. It went up $3,500 today. Are you serious?
And then we'd be like, oh, that's nothing. That's we've seen $10,000 days before, because it's all it scales, right? Exponentially. And so it's just a matter of time. I think McAfee is off on his prediction, and I think he's going to be eating a dick sandwich come the end of 2020, but he is correct about the math part. Right? There is only 21 million Bitcoin ever. Several million are lost. Several million have yet to be mined, and several million are in strong hands. People are, fighting for a small amount of tokens that are actually out there, and supply and demand dictates that the more demand there is, the more the prices are going to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Chioso is very active here. He has a question. He's saying, I guess more like a statement. Many institutions and private investors are buying huge amounts of Bitcoin over the counter over the last few months. I guess he's asking for our take on the institutional investors getting into crypto.
Well, I think it's all bullish signs, right? There's no downside to that.
From Fidelity to Facebook to Samsung to JP Morgan. I mean, lots of people say this is against the blockchain or crypto ethos because it's meant to be totally decentralized. But as I mentioned on our video or the event in Consensus, I think some centralization is needed, right? Kind of CZ of Binance had a post on this as well, right? When people want customer support, right? Even in crypto, people want somebody they can call up and curse out or say thank you.
I want to speak to Satoshi. Is Satoshi there, please?
Yeah.
That'd be great. You could have a whole support center of Satoshis. Hello, I'm Satoshi. How can I help
you? Satoshi,
I mean, that's needed, right?
479. Like, you got to specify.
Because I don't think crypto is going to go mainstream in a totally decentralized fashion.
My friends call me Tim.
It can't. It can't be fully decentralized because, I've had instances on some of these exchanges where, where did my money go? I know Mr. Joel Comm had sent something to a different address, and was it Bittrex that you chatted with, and they found it and sent you your money back, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was definitely issues, and if they can track the stuff down, they always give you warning. If you send to the wrong address or something else happens, you might be screwed. Essentially, is what their terms say. But most of the exchanges have tried. I've had issues with, I think, Poloniex and Bittrex. And
Poloniex has lots of issues.
Yeah. So I don't use them anymore, actually. But so far, I've managed to not lose anything, which is except for selling at the all-time low for the
That's
last
great.
year.
Yeah. I do want to add this, though, Ian, answer the dude's question who had asked is that, here in June, actually starting tomorrow, the CBOE, they started doing Bitcoin futures and having support for Bitcoin futures right when Bitcoin was right around $20,000. And in March, they said that they're going to stop support in June. And so, I thought that them putting the futures on there was one of the things that kind of killed the momentum of Bitcoin a little bit. I really thought I thought the whole crypto market was going to hit $1 trillion because it said it got 800 and something billion. I was like, dude, it's going to hit $1 trillion. Well, and we were literally Joel and I were having conversations every day. We were like, oh, dude, check it out. Oh, Bitcoin is now worth more than MasterCard, right? I mean, like, it was going up the stock and it was going up, and it was, you were saying how much it's worth. It was just crazy watching it all. Yeah. And I said, dude, it's going to hit $1 trillion. It's going to hit $1 trillion. When it hits $1 trillion, then I'm going to dump some. Did not hit $1 trillion. No. And then what was so crazy about that dip was that it literally went from 840 billion on January 5th or January 7th. And then on February 7th, it was like 270 something billion. Like, it lost $500 billion in a month. Mm-hmm. Like, that was such a quick crash. It wasn't like a slow little kind of, it was like a papunk. Like, what?
Why do you got to remind me of that, Mr. Travis Wright? It hurt. But, I'm looking at an article on CoinDesk right now, and TradingView put out some data. If you had invested on January 1st in Bitcoin, the S&P 500, the U.S. 10-year bonds, or gold, here's the results. The S&P 500, you'd be looking at a 10% gain. Oil, 17% gain. U.S. bonds, 19% loss. Gold, 1% gain. But if you bought Bitcoin, you'd be looking at 127% year-to-date gain. Mm-hmm. So it's outperforming every other investment vehicle for the year.
Yeah, I mean, incredible. Right. So I feel like people, when they look at Bitcoin, right? Yes, it's very volatile, but most investors or traders or even speculators know that money is made in volatility, right? So the more volatility, the better, right? But if you study Bitcoin and just look at the all-time and lows and see where it's going every single year, it has higher lows. So yes, it's not a 20,000 anymore, but versus last year, it has a higher low, right? So it's the basement keeps on growing and growing each year. So just hodl, not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
All right,
hodl me closer.
Hodl me closer. Hey,
there's
sounds
also
like a great song.
one other piece of positive news I got here while looking at CoinDesk. Apparently, who is this guy? He is the SEC Director of Corporation Finance. He said that some ICOs may be eligible for no action relief, that digital assets may evolve into an instrument that no longer need to be regulated the way they're regulating them. So maybe the market's going to breathe a little easier on that as well.
All right.
That's good news, Mr. Joel Comm.
So what's your take with the SEC and regulation? Right, it seems they're trying to run the party.
What's going to happen?
But I feel like, so let's the adult in the room.
Yeah, they're going to make their regulation. The IRS is going to come out with some new crypto tax guidance really soon. That will, I don't know if it's going to change anything or just bring more clarity to, the last guidance that we had from 2014. But I think for people to at least know, okay, this is how they're interpreting it. This is how we treat our crypto, gains and losses and track all this stuff. I think the more we know as citizens, the more comfortable people are going to feel with crypto.
All right.
Yeah, so, I would say this too, is that, depending on, the organization, the SEC, the CFTC, the IRS, right? So like the head of the SEC, he really doesn't like crypto. The head of the CFTC, Giancarlo, he's crypto friendly, but he's only going to be in office like another 5-6 months, and he's done because his term is over. Right, he was an Obama appointee. Trump's going to put a new person in of the CFTC in 5-6 months. IRS, like Joel mentioned, they're putting out some new things, and that's a part of the problem, is that there's not clarity, because the SEC looks at everything as a security, the CFTC looks at everything as a commodity, the IRS looks at it as property, and so it's really hard to figure out, like, okay, what is it? And so there is no cryptocurrency trading commission yet. which I think we'll see in the next 5 years, hopefully sooner than that. Somebody who kind of is over that is crypto friendly and wants to make crypto great and let it grow. Because right now, Ian, as you've seen, a lot of these great companies that could have been built in America are not being built in America. They're being built somewhere else because there's too much uncertainty here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So speaking of that, right, I've been seeing on Twitter and social media a brand new pro-crypto presidential candidate called Andrew Yang, right? He actually spoke at Consensus, right? So are you guys familiar with his stance on crypto? Right, he's trying to bring a regulation framework that's pro-blockchain, pro-crypto. I mean, I'm not really one to get into politics, but I think people in crypto need to lobby and get their own crypto president, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody who can just kind of say, you know what, crypto is good for everybody.
Yeah.
Let's go to
I would say this right now, that what is it, the chief of staff or whatever for Trump right now is like super pro crypto. Mm-hmm. So at least the president has somebody in his ear who is for crypto. It's not saying that it's bad. So I think that, the thing is though, did you see any of the Zuckerberg thing whenever Zuckerberg went to Congress and how they were asking him the dumbest questions? So if I'm on Facebook, am I on the internet? Like, wow, you guys are dumb as shit. Like really? So how does Facebook make money? Like, really? Like, wow. Like, so they don't understand crypto. They don't even understand the internet, Ian. So it's like for them to make regulations.
Well, and here's my problem with Yang. I don't want to elect somebody just because they're pro crypto. I mean, his other positions are that we should be funding, healthcare for everybody. The government should be providing healthcare, and that the government should be providing universal basic income. And there's some policies that I think, while well-intentioned, actually have the counter effect to what is intended. And so that scares me.
Yeah, we have way too much debt already, man. You start throwing in all that, like we're $20-something trillion in debt. You start throwing all this health care and then giving everybody money every month. How long until the bankers come and say, hey, USA, we need our money, and then the economy completely tanks? So it's like you can't just keep making money out of thin air like the fiat currency machine likes to do forever. Yeah. And eventually the bubble pops.
Well, we also have a McAfee for president too.
while he's on the lam in the Bahamas or wherever he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I saw somewhere that apparently he was arrested. I don't know if it was fake news.
I did not hear that. I think he's pretty. I think he's
pretty good.
They're trying to arrest him, but he's in sanctuary in Bermuda or something.
Bermuda,
yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, but the guy can escape everything. All right. Well, let's kind of wrap up the show. Any last words you guys have? Anything you want to share?
Stay bad.
Those are our last words that we normally say.
Now, where can people find your podcast?
BadCryptoPodcast.com. We're available on all the typical channels, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, and on the website as well. And then the BADCoin is available at badcoin.net.
All right.
Just put it in DuckDuckGo. Just type in bad crypto or bad coin, and you should find us.
I don't know. Somebody had a question regarding a wallet.
You can download the wallet for PC or Mac on the website at badcoin.net.
Yep.
All right. Now, if anybody out there on my channel wants to go check out their podcast, one podcast I do recommend is the one you guys had with CZ of Binance. That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. That's badco.in/250. 250.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good, right? Because I think you guys definitely have a good need in the market, right? There are lots of technical podcasts or shows out there, lots of investing shows, some people try to make funny shows as well, but I feel like you guys do everything. First of all, you guys are funny, but you're also professionals, right? You guys have built a long career before crypto. Right? You guys aren't just some people in their basements trying to make a funny show on crypto.
I'm in my basement right now.
Well, I mean, casemate, I guess.
If by basement, you mean 23rd floor of my apartment. But this isn't our first rodeo. We've been around in the marketing, social, and technological space for many years. We're both paid professional keynote speakers and authors. And this is just our latest fascination. And we both believe that blockchain is so disruptive that it's a game changer. And so we want to be on that ride, and we want to take others with us because it's fun.
Because Mr. Joe Comm likes games. He likes games.
I do like games. Yeah.
All right. Bad games.
I like that magical
Internet.
money.
All right. All right. We'll end the show there. Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Stay bad.
Stay bad.
Stay bad. All right.